no streaming. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the 24th December 2025. It's Wednesday evening here from our luxurious and plus studios from Amahia here in Ghana, the capital of the Republic of Ghana, Accra. My name is yours truly, Kofi Asante Mensah. Welcome to our broadcast and welcome to the program. It is Pulse of the Week and it's live on NSG News. We are streaming live on YouTube. It's NSG News GH. Welcome to the program. We have a lot for you today. It says the town crier does not shout for nothing. This evening, we are like the gong beater, the town crier. We're here with a lot of information. We are not here to shout for nothing. We have a lot of information for you, so stick and stay with us. When I return from this breather, there's a lot for you. We're talking Christmas. We're also talking about Ken Ofori-Atta. We have the Constitutional Review Committee's report as presented to the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama. Also, a latest Global InfoAnalytics puts Bawumia at slightly in the lead, about 56% in the lead. We'll also talk about the Confederation of African Football, the African Cup of Nations 2025 being held all the way in Morocco. With the absence of Ghana, the Black Stars are now taking part in this. I have a lot to share with you. Once again, it's Kofi Asante Mensah here on NSG News. After this breather, there's more. Please stay. Always a pleasure to have you back. Thank you very much. It's Kofi Asante Mensah on Pulse of the Week here on NSG News. Welcome to the program. We'll begin with some Christmas stories. We want to gauge the mood of market women and people who are buying and others selling, and gauge the mood of today, 24th of December 2025. Actually from Sunday through to Monday, Tuesday, and today Wednesday, we want to find out how market is faring. And we have this report for you. This is talking about ahead of the Christmas tomorrow, 25th, how market is. Please watch this.
Major markets in Accra would ordinarily be buzzing with activity as the Christmas season approaches. However, this characteristic was absent when the news team visited areas such as the Circle Market. Vendors say expectations of brisk Christmas sales have not materialized, with some attributing it to cautious spending. Others appeal to government to intervene to ease the burden on traders and consumers.
As a panabo, 24-hour economy, Michia, me president, Popepi. Mahama, who are infa, Michia, Lemum, Yasraw, Kronas is Kenny Krum. As a Skenny Krum, Yanemani Abesha de Fitanapa, Obiama, Yanto, a Janity and Ukrainian, a Johnny, but Yenim Sebia, Yokoy anima. Ebe ye kakra de binim na me pese me ka kire Mahama se wa bodwa bia won kran hadi enso sekre do na wa moyedi ti e pese won be si dwane maye edwane de ehia enkoyie kula maye last year ni po yesi election nti na aye de enkoyie but this year de no kro wa nyame anim enkokura enya afi we ye to ade o say nya etete wo enya economy ni na ayesa paska maye emu ye kakra ba enya dete se kane no first ne de anka free sa abre ya na nka market no na ekoso a ba ye hwese bi e free china ekono ebe toyie enkosi bi ya 25 no.
On the other hand, some shoppers admit they are yet to begin their Christmas shopping, citing financial difficulties and uncertainty about their spending plans.
Oh, there is more time. Christmas has not yet ended yet. So there is more time, so they should take it easy. We will come and buy.
I haven't done the Christmas shopping yet, but maybe next, very soon I'll be doing it.
Why haven't you done it yet?
Oh, because it's not yet Christmas. We are inside though, but it's not yet Christmas. So, yeah, when it gets there, I will do something. Yeah, sure, I've not been paid, so when it comes, I'll be doing it.
ba me won kranti ese me to bi kakra nti edu so ameto ba ne mane de ne bo so ayenti nti aban omo aye na.
right, let's do some more Christmas-related stories because security agencies in the Republic of Ghana have embarked on a joint route march through the principal streets of the Republic to demonstrate their readiness to ensure peace, safety, and security before, during, and after the Christmas and New Year festivities.
As part of efforts to reassure the public of their preparedness, security officers from various agencies embarked on a visibility march through the principal streets of the Kumasi metropolis and other parts of the Ashanti region ahead of the festivities. The exercise brought together personnel from the Ghana Armed Forces, Ghana Police Service, Ghana National Fire Service, and the Ghana Immigration Service. Also participating were officers from the Ghana Prison Service, the National Ambulance Service, National Security, and the National Investigation Bureau. Addressing the media after the walk in Kumasi, DCOP Asa Osei Akoto underscored the importance of a united front among security agencies in tackling crime in the region. He further urged officers to uphold discipline and professionalism in the discharge of their duties. The regional police commander assured the public of the security agencies' readiness to maintain peace and ensure the safety of residents throughout the festive season.
With the birth of Christ, let's forgive each other and turn new leaf. On your behalf, I am assuring the rep of the regional minister that from today onwards, let me say going forward, we are going to display unity and a common sense of purpose, translating into effective and efficient service delivery to the good people of Ghana. Please, I'm assuring the rep of the regional minister on your behalf, so don't disappoint me. Are you going to disappoint me?
So doing some more Christmas stories because the Trade, Agribusiness and Industry Minister Elizabeth Owusu Ajari has urged traders at Accra's Okaishi and Makola Market to adapt to fair and reasonable prices during the Christmas season as the government pushes for recent economic stability to translate into lower costs for customers.
Speak now. We'll be able to start the reset agenda and start it very well. You will see that industry was visited. We met industry, we discussed issues, we solved them. Top was the repatriation of export proceeds, which was 60 days by the...
All right, so welcome back, and that's the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Owusu Ajari over there. We're going for a quick breather, and when we return, there's more here for you. Please stay.
Joy to the world. You ready, my friends? Christmas, Christmas, Christ the Savior born. Christmas, Christmas, salvation come. No need to search. There's no need to wait. Don't you wait. It's here to take and live just as you should. Freely from pain. Freely from shame. This is Christmas, Christmas, Christ Savior born. Christmas, Christmas, salvation come. No more to search, no need to wait. What you waiting for? It's here, just take and live just as you should. Free, freely from pain. Free, freely from shame. Go on and fly. By the Holy Ghost, this is Christmas. Yeah, it's Christmas, y'all. Christ the Savior is born. Oh, Christmas, Christmas. Salvation come, no more to search. There's no need to wait anymore.
Always a pleasure to have you back, and that's Ziba. I hope you enjoyed that very song. We'll play more of Ziba's song for you. This is a special song from Ziba on Christmas, and today is 24th of December 2025. There's another special song I would love my production to play for you later in the course of the program, which has to do with the date for today, December 24th. That song was done by Keche Kwame Apia. I know you love that song too. Also, we found Politan bag. Politan bag. All right, so welcome back. Let's do some stories relating to the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, because in Nayat Kwesimi, an international legal practitioner and counsel for former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, has described the ongoing JRA and SML case involving his client as politically motivated, insisting that Ofori-Atta is not evading justice. Kwesima argued that investigative authorities, particularly the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, were fully aware that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta was receiving medical treatment abroad and therefore had no basis to issue a red notice against him. Mr. Ofori-Atta is facing 78 counts of corruption alongside 7 others over the Strategic Mobilization Limited SML Revenue Assurance contract with the Ghana Revenue Authority, JRA. The charges include alleged breaches of Section 23 Clause 1 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, and Section 2092 Clause 2B of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663. This gentleman had an interview with the BBC, and I have an insert for you.
Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is now at the center of an international legal battle. Authorities in Ghana have formally requested his extradition from the United States to face 78 corruption-related charges. The charges are largely linked to contracts awarded to Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, or SML. The decision now rests with U.S. judicial authorities to determine whether there is a sufficient basis for extradition.
Three things that
Ofori-Atta has not spoken publicly, but his legal team insists he's not evading justice and says the case is politically motivated.
He's committed to fully complying with the laws of Ghana, and he's fully committed to answering for anything that he did when he was finance minister. There's absolutely no question about that. The question is he being given the rights that he's guaranteed under Ghanaian law? He is not. He has never been.
How so?
Mr. Ofori-Atta was receiving a treatment. Mr. Ofori-Atta was in the US. They knew all along. There was no purpose for issuing the red notice, but they went ahead and issued it.
Prosecutors reject claims of political persecution, saying the charges are based on evidence and as the former minister failed to cooperate with investigations. The alleged payments of more than $1 million were made to SML without proof of performance under contracts they say were illegally awarded. But Ofori-Atta's lawyers say efforts to engage authorities were ignored. Now, we reached out to Ghana's Office of Special Prosecutor, but they declined to comment.
That's my former boss at Joy Prime. His name is Daniel Dazi over there, working with the BBC now. And I'm here with NSG News. Thank you very much. Let's do some more stories. This time we are going to the Constitutional Review Committee, and the Constitutional Review Committee, CRC, has presented a set of far-reaching recommendations to the government, including proposals to extend the presidential term to 5 years and to separate the executive from parliament. The proposals were outlined by the chair of the committee, Professor Henry Kwesi Prempeh, and this is the insert that he talks about why we should separate the executive from the legislature.
One of the areas that we think is also important is the way the relationship between the executive and the legislature is organized. There has been a lot of talk around the separation of the two. We have looked at the evidence. Clearly, it works for some countries. We know that in Britain and other places, the entire executive comes from the legislature. That's fine for them. It's worked. We have looked at our evidence, and it does appear that it's not working quite well here. And since we're supposed to be doing actionable recommendations, we thought, well, it also has to respond to our specific context. So we're proposing that what we have called the hybrid, which we have run for some time, over 30 years now, that we dispense with it and separate the executive from the legislature so that we can have a parliament that focuses on its task and thus and leaves the executive to also do it.
Let's do some more CRC stories, because Professor Prempeh explained that the committee believes the current 4-year presidential term is insufficient for effective governance and should be extended by 1 year. He dismissed suggestions that the proposals seek to introduce a third-term presidential term, stressing that no such provision exists in the Constitution.
However, we believe we took to heart the recommendations that we got from many of the eminent persons that we met, including some who have occupied your seats, that the 4-year term was short. It was too short. And we also then learned that the emerging global norm was 5. And that even in the region, we in Nigeria have the lowest. I mean, 4 is pretty low. So we're proposing an extension by 1 more year.
So that's the proposal being stated by the committee chair, Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh. The committee also recommended ending the current hybrid system that allows ministers to be appointed from Parliament, arguing that it weakens efficiency and accountability. According to Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh, a clearer separation between the executive and the legislature would strengthen governance. He also spoke about reasons why the president should be paying tax.
Dependence of a number of constitutional bodies. So we have given it a fuller mandate in the area of appointments, so that a number of the appointments that hitherto had been done by the president in his sole discretion or with very little input now would be actually funneled through the Council of State, and they would do a bit of the heavy lifting, doing the recruiting, the selection, and then would then end up with a nomination for the president. There are also, I think, one of the areas that we think is also important is the way the relationship between the executive and the legislature is organized. There has been a lot of talk around the separation of the two. We have looked at the evidence. Clearly, it works for some countries. We know that in Britain and other places, the entire executive comes from the legislature. That's fine for them. It's worked. We have looked at our evidence, and it does appear that it's not working quite well here. And since we're supposed to be doing actionable recommendations, we thought, well, it also has to respond to our specific context. So we're proposing that what we have called the hybrid, which we have run for some time, over 30 years now, that we dispense with it and separate the executive from the legislature so that we can have a parliament that focuses on its task and thus and leaves the executive to also do its task. One of the other things that we think would be new one of the things that we believe would be new for us is also in the way in which our public services and the public sector generally has been organized, and the role of partisanship in the operations of our public sector, whether it's the commercial sector, the SOEs, or it's the public services, civil service generally. So we have made quite a number of recommendations there to try and separate party from state. We can't separate party from government because parties run to get into government. So that affinity remains. But when it comes to running the affairs of states, we believe that we need to erect some walls around the state so that those who go in there are going in there not representing party interest. Those interests are in government appropriately, and we believe that we need to protect the state sector from over-politicization. So we have made certain recommendations affecting things like the appointment processes for state-owned enterprises. We also think it's about time to draw in SIGA, or a SIGA-like body, into the Constitution. We've always maintained this fiction in our Constitution that the public services, those public corporations of a commercial nature, do not belong in the Constitution. So we've kept them away, and while they are not strictly public services, we believe that the kind of impact they have on the economy, the scale of their operations, the percentage of GDP that they control, the contingent liabilities they impose on us, the systemic risk, all of those things justify bringing them closer.
All right, so that's Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh over there. The reforms to the Council of State also feature prominently in the report, with the committee proposing a return to its original structure as envisioned under the 1969 Constitution. In addition, the CRC proposed changes to local governance structure, particularly in relation to traditional authorities, as Ghana considers the election of metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives. In return, President John Dramani Mahama also stated that he would set a committee in place for its implementation.
Send a message to all public officers who are superintending the expenditure of state funds that from now onwards, when you are charged with the offense of causing financial loss to the state, even though with respect to that offense, we don't need to show that you have in any way benefited from the transaction that either intentionally or recklessly caused financial loss to the state. We will begin the process of surcharging all public officers who have caused financial loss to the state. So in addition to the criminal charges which will be filed, we will ask the Auditor General to disallow and surcharge the sums of money lost to the state on the public officers. Now note, ladies and gentlemen of the media, I do not need to prove your guilt in a criminal matter, all right, in order to be able to succeed in the surcharge and disallowance, because that is a civil matter. It's proved on the basis of the balance of probabilities. So if you in any way recklessly or negligently cause financial loss to the state, all right, the surcharge and disallowance will be the mechanism that will use to recover all the money that has been lost to the state from you. And so I'm serving notice to all public officers who are especially spending officers. Those are the ones who authorize spending on behalf of the Republic, that in situations where your conduct results either intentionally or recklessly.
Thank you very much. May I now invite His Excellency the President for the presentation of the report, please.
I would like to add that we couldn't have a better team than this. them. We become very good friends and almost family. After so many months working together.
So that's President John Dramani Mahama receiving the CRC recommendation report over there. Let's move to the government's accountability series, because this week the Attorney General, Dr. Ayenene, has been at the forefront indicating so many things, including the one that has to do with Chairman Wontumi, the NPP regional chair for Ashanti region. This is the story. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice has revealed that Bernard Ntwibo Siako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, pressured Ghana Exim Bank to release funds meant for farm workers who investigation later showed did not exist. Speaking at a press briefing in Accra on December 22, the Attorney General said Wontumi Farms Limited was expected to submit a database of farm hands to facilitate electronic salary payment under the Mining Alternative Livelihoods Initiative.
February 14th, 2018, IBAN Capital Limited, a company that specializes in financial technology services, cash management services, distribution of custom banking and payment software packages, was also contracted by Exim Bank and assigned to Wontumi Farms to provide a platform that will facilitate staff salary payments, customization, integration, POS, terminals, and biometric cards for the farm hands that were to be employed by Wontumi Farms Limited. Wontumi Farms Limited was to provide IBAN Capital Limited with a database of all workers, from which IBAN Capital Limited was to integrate the workers on a payment platform. IBAN Capital Limited would then receive funds directly from Exim Bank for onward disbursement to workers, to the workers' wallets as salaries and allowances. Ladies and gentlemen, Wontumi Farms Limited failed to provide a database of farmers, of farm hands to IBAN Capital, as there were no farmers working on the land, no farm hands working on the land. According to witnesses, Chairman Wontumi, as CEO of Wontumi Farms Limited, insisted and put pressure on IBAN Capital and Exim Bank to transfer the 400,000 meant for the workers to Wontumi Farms Limited on the basis that the youth who were involved in Galamsey were not used to complex electronic payment systems and wanted to be paid in cash. In order to execute the project, Wontumi Farms Limited had submitted a pro forma invoice to Exim Bank for the purchase of farm equipment, including tractors, combine harvesters, corn seeder machines, and Wellington boots. The invoice was submitted on December 15, 2017 as part of the loan application process. Subsequently, Exim Bank demanded proof that the equipment has been purchased. On March 18, 2018, Chairman Wontumi submitted a receipt from a company known as Kasama Enterprise for the purchase of the equipment in the sum of 4 million Ghana cedis.
Right, so that's the Attorney General over there. We still remain with government's accountability series, because the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Akrotinga Ayenene, has warned that state institutions failing to provide information on alleged corruption cases involving officials in the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration would be considered complicit. Addressing the media during the government accountability series on Monday, 22nd of December 2025, he emphasized that delays by state agencies would be viewed as obstruction.
I want to send a message to all public officers who are superintending the expenditure of state funds, that from now onwards, when you are charged with the offense of causing financial loss to the state, even though with respect to that offense, we don't need to show that you have, in any way benefited from the transaction that either intentionally or recklessly cause financial loss to the state, we will begin the process of surcharging all public officers who have caused financial loss to the state. So in addition to the criminal charges which will be filed, we will ask the Auditor General to disallow and surcharge the sums of money lost to the state on the public officers. Now note, ladies and gentlemen of the media, I do not need to prove your guilt in a criminal matter, all right, in order to be able to succeed in the surcharge and disallowance, because that is a civil matter. It's proved on the basis on the balance of probabilities. So if you in any way recklessly or negligently cause financial loss to the state, all right, the surcharge and disallowance will be the mechanism that will use to recover all the money that has been lost to the state from you. And so I'm serving notice to all public officers who are especially spending officers. Those are the ones who authorize spending on behalf of the Republic, that in situations where your conduct results either intentionally or recklessly in financial loss to the state, I will be, in addition to bringing criminal charges, asking the Auditor General to disallow the sums and surcharge those sums on the public officers involved. Now, overall, ladies and gentlemen, the oral investigations are proceeding well, and we continue to beef up initial investigative reports in order to file charges that meet the standards of proof in criminal trials. I want to also make it clear that the Office of the Attorney General depends on a number of state institutions for information that will lead to filing of charges in court. Apart from investigations conducted by the by either the Economic and Organized Crime Office or the National Intelligence Bureau, sometimes we'll need agencies such as the Ghana Revenue Authority, for instance, to confirm if, for instance, tax evasion has taken place before we can go on to file charges. So when these state institutions delay, it also brings, some amount of delay to the filing of charges. So I'm also calling upon all the state institutions that 2026 is going to be a different year. If I make demands on you and you delay, I will take the view that you are complicit in the offense that has been committed, and I'll come after you. So all state institutions that have information that is required to file criminal proceedings.
So that is Dominic Akrotinga over there, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice over there. Before I go for a Christmas break, please note that the CAF Africa Cup of Nations is still on. That's Africa Cup of Nations 2025, hosted in Morocco, is still on. As I speak with you, Ivory Coast has played some 84 minutes, and they have scored 1 against Zimbabwe 0. Zimbabwe 0, Ivory Coast 1, and they have played 84 minutes, and it's live right now. Earlier today, Burkina Faso shipped Equatorial Guinea by 2-1. Algeria also shipped Sudan by 3-0. Hey, Sudan! Algeria shipped Sudan 3-0. Where is Ghana? Ghana is here. We are preparing for the World Cup. Going for a Christmas break. When I return, there's more for you. Please stay.
Oh, what baby abla? Oh, because he watching. What the justice? Former black, white, searching for you now, former black. What dear board? That's 2 years old and some. See my wife. Who see you, my meba? Meba, my way, you tobo never. Who see you, my why? You my why? Jojo. 24. Send you to what's the point? I'm going to head for 2 Yes. And you do put the main country, yes, I'll be here. Election, some were in complete shock
of the results.
Yes, while we were telling them 6 months before that yes.
So you are a traitor or what? I don't know.
The last person who will be a traitor in this country will be me. I'm very patriotic.
It is alleged that NDC is sponsoring you to do their dirty work. Let me put it that way. That's my word, dirty work, to discredit the advances of the MPP. You've been drawn into partisan politics. How do you come out of this one?
One, I have not been contracted, required to do anything for NDC against any entity in this country. Absolutely not. I don't belong to the NDC. I don't belong to the MPP. I don't have political party affiliation with any other party. No. Now look, where we are in Hacho now. I remember when I was going to write the O-levels, I didn't have money to pay for the fees. So I had to carry labor, do by day labor. Here. We're one of those who started building houses in this area as a laborer. You have to even go and carry the cement from afar because there were no buildings to store them in. This would be the shock. We were branded as mad people. But the numbers we were banding around was in excess of a 2.something million gap. We have to realize that the country, Ghana, has changed profoundly, even from 2016 levels.
I think it wasn't Ghana government funded.
No, it wasn't Ghana government funded. No, on your own you struggle and then you go to Denmark. I remember when I arrived in Frankfurt on my way to Denmark, I had only $500 in my pocket. And that was to pay for your accommodation, pay for your feeding, pay for everything.
Hi, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us. And this is NSG News. Please follow us on our many social media platforms. And there you find us on our screen right now. YouTube is at NSG News-GH. On X is at NSG, that is not search GH. Facebook is NSG News. Also on Instagram at NSG News 1. And on TikTok is NSG News. Please do follow us and like our pages and share it with the rest of the world. Share some few comments. I'll be glad to read them over here for you. I am very sure you're enjoying the show, especially the music part of it. because Ziba came through with a very melodious song, very inspiring. And this we just played for you is Keche Kwame Appiah, indicating that 24th you have to leave the capital and go to the village. All right, let's do some more stories, because the Global InfoAnalytics, they are up again. They say the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is still in a pool position to win next month's NPP presidential primaries, according to a report by the Global InfoAnalytics. In its latest survey on the NPP primaries, Dr. Bawumia is leading strongly among committed voters of the NPP. According to the report, Dr. Bawumia is leading among the MPP's committed delegate with 56%. Second placed is Kennedy Akompreko Ejapon, who polled 39% among the committed voters, while Dr. Brian Acheampong placed third with a 4% over there. And we have here the two other contenders, Kwabena Ejapon and Dr. Osei Yao Educhum, secured nearly 0 votes among committed voters of the New Patriotic Party. The committed voters model is a survey of voters who have declared unwavering support and will not change their minds. They have the will not to change their minds. Going for another quick breather. When I return, we'll do some BOG stories for you. The Bank of Ghana is up this evening, and they have a lot of stories to share for us. 24th of December 2025. Just a quick breather, please stay. Hi there. What number is this? 3, right? All right. It's time for NSG News. Welcome. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. And here at NSG News, you'll get serious documentary to watch, news, reviews, views, and what have you. Because we have Pulse of the Week and also exclusive on the hot seat. On NSG News, we say news with integrity.
A whole new beginning. Get used to it. I have stepped into my new beginning. Yesterday is gone. Yesterday of darkness is gone. A whole new beginning. Yeah, 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 yeah. Get used to it. I've stepped into my new level. See me watching me fly on eagle's wing. A whole new beginning.
Thank you for staying. This is NSG News with your man, Kofi Asante Mensah. And this is Pulse of the Week, the midweek edition. Today is 24th of December, 2025. And this is the program that brings a wrap of major stories in the Republic of Ghana. We are going to the Bank of Ghana because Dr. Johnson Esiama, governor of the Bank of Ghana, has urged business leaders to support efforts toward building a financial system that is inclusive, resilient, and aligned with sustainable economic transformation. He said the country's financial system had made significant progress through regulation, digital innovation, and improved supervision, but noted that recent global and domestic development showed that stability required continuous adaptation.
We have received your responses also to my earlier calls on banks to support Ghana's export agenda by strengthening export finance, supporting agro-processing and non-traditional exports, and engaging more deliberately with AFTA-related trade opportunities. In the year ahead, we expect this momentum to deepen, with banks playing a more active role in financing export-oriented enterprises, managing trade risk, and helping firms move from domestic markets into regional and global value chains. The banking sector must not sit on the sidelines of Ghana's export agenda. You, as banks, you must help shape it. And this This is the moment for banks to do more, to design export-ready loan products, to build sector-specific expertise, to support risk-sharing and hedging instruments, to invest in digital trade platforms, and actively work with exporters from production to payment. When banks nurture exporters, they are not doing charity work. They are expanding the country's foreign exchange base, strengthening their own balance sheets at the same time, and deepening the resilience of the financial system. Every container that is shipped outside Ghana, every processed good sold abroad, every new contract that a Ghanaian wins, these strengthen both the real economy and the banking sector itself, which serves it in the first place. So let us commit to moving from isolated initiatives to a collective export finance.
So that's the governor of the Bank of Ghana over there. He is calling for a gold-backed stable coin to boost our economy. And at the same event, he made those remarks.
Outward into 2026, the year will also test our readiness for regional integration. Payments, trade finance, FX settlement, and market infrastructure must support cross-border commerce, particularly for SMEs, including through targeted exploration of asset-backed digital settlement instruments, talking about gold-backed stable coins, where these can demonstrably reduce cost and friction in intra-African trade. Clearly, Ghana's opportunity is to position its financial system as a reference point for regional integration. And to this charge we shall keep. Underlying all of these, colleagues, is a simple discipline. And that is that the next phase of growth will reward systems that are predictable, systems or institutions that are credible, and leadership that is ready across our banks. If 2025 was the year that confidence in the economy was rebuilt, then 2026 must be the year that confidence is put to work carefully, productively, and with judgment in service of a stronger.
So that's the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Esiama, over there. We're going for a quick breather. When I return, AIM Liquid, special guest from the United Kingdom, is joining us for a special discussion on the major subjects for discussion or happenings in the country. And he's more than ready. He's ready on Zoom right now. Just give me a second, then we'll start the engagement with AIM Liquid. Hi there. What number is this? 3, right? All right. It's time for NSG News. Welcome. My name is Kofi Asante Mensam. And here at NSG News, you'll get serious documentary to watch, news, reviews, views, and what have you. Because we have Pulse of the Week and also exclusive on the hot seat. On NSG News, we say news with integrity. Pleasure to have you back. It's Kofi Asante here on Pulse of the Week, live on NSG News GH, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, and on X. Please follow us. That's you have it there, right there on your screen right now. And we're going for the discussion. Let me gauge the mood of the Christmas, 24th of December 2025. How is the UK doing? AIM Liquid, host of the hot set here on NSG, has joined me live right now. Mr. AIM Liquid, it's a pleasure to have you today, Wednesday. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, I'm good. Kofi, how it sound like? Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you very loud and clear. How is the Christmas picking up ahead of tomorrow, the D-Day for the birth of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Master Savior?
Yeah, people are doing their final shopping, and as Christmas here is more family gatherings, so tomorrow The streets are going to be very, very quiet. And even if a pin drops, you will hear it. Because families are gathered in homes, say maybe Kofi, you then invite all your family and friends to come and dine with you. So that's how tomorrow is going to be like. So you come on the streets of UK tomorrow, you're not going to see anybody. They're all at home. And the weather is cold as well. So, but anyway, I'm on the road. You will not let me be. So this is the best I can do for you. All right? You don't want me to have my 24th in peace. And because you know I love country, so you will come last minute and I'll still show up. I'm going to pepper you one of these days.
Let me find out from you. You know the way you put people on the hot seat. This one is not putting you on the hot seat, but on the spot. How would you celebrate Christmas 2025 in the UK? Just a brief. How would you celebrate it?
Normally I do invite friends over, but a friend caught me on the high side and tagged me in to say I have no choice. I have to bring the family over to his. So tomorrow I'll be in a village somewhere with a friend and we'll be having a good time. He said I should come the whole day. And so today I've just been told some families have visited. I'm not at home, as you can see. Some families have visited us just to pass through, and we'll have some time. And yeah, that's how it's going to be. So mostly Christmas is a family gatherings. I know, of course, in Ghana you will see us on the streets to be jumping, we're going to sports and all those things is different. But here, the sports, the pubs, the clubs will all close down. Nothing works tomorrow.
Let's get into it right now because I know you don't have enough time. Like you indicated, you are already out. First, the biggest news that occasioned this very week has to do with the Constitutional Review Committee and their recommendation or report presented to the President of the Republic, which I'm sure you've gone through it. It has a lot of recommendation, including the tenure of office. There's no third term for any president. There's just a recommendation that we add 1 more year to the 4 years, and it will be 5-2 term. You just have 5-2 term in office. The EC should also shouldn't be appointed by or nominated by the president, but rather the Council of State. They spoke about a whole lot of stuff, talking about political funding, political campaigning. There should be a dedicated period for political campaigning. The remaining years will be used for governors. Nobody campaigns if, say, they give 3 months or 6 months for campaigning before election. That is what the new Constitutional Review Committee report or recommendation is saying. John Mahama is also saying he is going to set up an implementation or review and implementation committee just after the Christmas and the New Year break, and they would implement it. Let me pick your thoughts on the work the Constitutional Review Committee have done so far. I had the privilege to go with 2 of my friends to go and meet them. I think we did that meeting at Alisa Hotel. I went there personally to make some few about 60-page document on behalf of an organization to them. And I think they picked some few things from our document as well. But hearing this, a Ghanaian living in the UK, what do you think the Constitutional Review Committee has done? Is that okay for Ghana's democracy and governance?
Honestly, I've not read that document yet. You may have to email that to me and I'll have a read, and we'll have to group and have a conversation for the interest and of country and people. But picking on what you just said, there's nothing wrong to review the constitutions and see what can be done better. Continuous improvement is the best way to be on top of your game. And so that I can't call to question. But I personally don't think that the 4-year term is the problem of our country. The problem of our country is mentality and mindset of the instruments available to government or the president. I go further to say it this way. The district chief executive, the district project manager, how much do you think the president is going to affect that person's behavior if he doesn't have already an altered mentality that is going to affect his performance. The president is not everywhere, okay? The only time we can call president to question is when informations come to him that people are adverse to provisions, order, constitution, and he will not act or he doesn't act. Then we call him to question. Now, if the Council of State is going to be those that are going to be appointing the EC, that's still the president. The Council of State is appointed by the president. Do you understand? It doesn't make any difference. Most of the Council of State will beat the interest of the president. So if you are saying to me that let's see which positions in country and in the country that are not government machinery, if we devolve a choice of EC to maybe the people or what do you call it, the delegates of all the parties going around and voting for, that will be making a difference. But to say that the Council of State, those that are actually appointed by the government machinery, should choose the EC, possibly because we think the EC choice has an alignment, there's still alignment. That's how I put it. On that one, there's something else you said about the 5 adding a year to. Listen, the 4 years is not the problem. If we succeed in adding 4 years and we have a bad president, we'll have to be with that president for 5 years. Did we sit back to consider that? You see, we are becoming people that are chasing the superficials of our problem. The problem is we have a fundamental mentality and mindset that is out of alignment for country and people. So if we go and then touch the obvious for the feeling and the sentiment, the sensationalism of the people, it's not going to fix the problem. And for one, I'm saying, let's fix our education system. Let the education system carry the interest of the people. And within 4 years, a president can make a difference. And if he's privileged enough to have another 4 years, that's 8 years. President Nana Akufo-Addo had 8 years. Tell me that 4 years is a problem. I may be wrong, but yes, I need to read the document, but picking on what you just said.
They defend by saying the very first year you would be forming your government, and when public workers or public officials get into the ministries, etc., they have to learn. And public work is not like private work, so it would more or less take a year to form your government, put all appointments in place, vetting and all those things, to people to acclimatize with and have grasp of the ministry and do the work. Before you realize it's 1 year already. So effectively, out of the 4 years, you have 3 years. And don't forget, within the last year, the government or the president or the opposition leader would also be touring around by way of campaigning. So the first year and the last year are really not, you have less to do. Effectively, you just have 2 years out of the 4 years.
I don't think that's true. Now Mahama, President Mahama and his government just got into office. They've been in office for about 12 months now. And we've already seen or felt the effect of their performance or activities. So where is the argument then? Yes, some are going to argue that some of these are individuals who have performed in government before. So this is why probably they picked up their roles and up to scratch, they hit the ground running. Yes, that's an argument. But why should it be so? Because why should it be so difficult? Why should it take us a year? That's proof positive. We are very inefficient. To tell me that you need a whole year to set your government system for them to pick up and do certain roles, it just proves that where we are. What about other countries? Yet the fact remains that democracy didn't come. This kind of democracy was not engineered by us. Let's look at what they do. They have 4 years too. like I've said, if we have a government machinery that is inefficient, and like the way country was not so satisfied with Nana Akufo-Addo, that's not my opinion, that's just the generic opinion of the country, we'll have to put up with it for 5 years. So if we want to fix how country functions, let's fix what needs fixing. For me, if there's anything that needs fixing in the constitution to devolve some of the powers given to the executive to administer or to appoint every single office in the country, that should be what we should be focusing on. Okay? The term is not a problem for me. The EC is not a problem for me. As for the EC, it's partisan war horses that are always skeptical of the performance of the EC. I don't think the ECs have been a problem. The parties make problem of the EC because each EC has always been appointed by the previous government and then function effectively for another government to come in. So where lies the issue with the EC? If the EC sitting there right now is corrupt, then President Akufo-Addo, President Mahama should not be there because he was appointed by the previous government. Is that correct?
Right.
Am I right, Kofi?
You're right.
So we are being emotionally partisan, emotionally centered and driven, riding on our partisan horses and questioning the integrity of the EC. If the EC, because it's appointed by MPP and will beat their interest, why is Mahama president today? That's my argument. The previous government, before Nana Akufo-Addo came, the EC was appointed by who? I'm asking you. But that's somehow the opposition won election. So why are we calling the EC to question them?
They will tell you it's because of the vigilance of the opposition. The MPP
That's
opposition.
what it's supposed to be. Because they say democracy of the people, by the people, for the people. So you can't leave it to the people alone. You can't leave it to the officers alone. We are supposed to be the police. We are supposed to be the ones that are watching them what they do or not do. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? When NDC decided to do their own homework, keep tabs on the reports, the results, keeping tab on it as they are reporting at every level, it's near impossible for the EC to rig the election. So if you don't do your homework and you can't blame me for functioning in my office, I'm going to ignore you. If I were, I will ignore you because I knew I'm clean. So I don't think the EC is the problem. Because since 1992, different ECs appointed by different governments have actually allowed another government to come in by declaring the result as is. So where lies the problem? Kofi?
That's a good question. What's your view on the 10-year single term for the electoral commissioner? You have just one term. You spend 10 years as commissioner, and you would have just 2 deputies, not 4 deputies. They have reduced the cut it into 2, from 4 to 2. Then you, as the chair of the commissioner, you have 10 years, no renewable. It's just 10 years single tenor.
Okay, so if we give that EC the 10 years and the EC is failing, what are we going to do? There should be room for maneuvering. Do you understand? I'm telling you, the things they are attacking is not the problem. The inherent problem of our country is mentality and mindset. Most of the instruments are okay. In our country right now, there is almost every law. The problem is enforcement. Currently, let me digress. There are allegations or rumors that the soldiers and the police that are being sent to the, Galamsey land are getting corrupted by the people. They are paying them not to do their job. So we have a mental problem. I'm telling you, change the instruments all you want. That's not going to make a difference. Let me give you a classic example. One of a classic example that is reflective of what we have in our country is this. You see the Bible. It's one Bible. But look at how all the churches behave. Tell me, the Bible is the problem. Tell me the Bible is the problem. The same Bible. The same Bible is being used to manipulate people. The same Bible is being used to bless people. The same Bible is being used to torment people. And you blame the Bible? Or those administering the Bible? So if we continue blaming the Constitution, we are being in denial to ourselves that those that are supposed to function with the Constitution are the problem. They are the odds to start with. So even if you change the Constitution, we will still have the problem because the people to use the Constitution are not changed mentally. That's my argument.
A very resounding argument over there. Let's go to another highlight. They indicated that they want to really separate the executive from the legislature, and appointments be made from the legislature, MPs being appointed ministers, and etc. should be cut. And even they want to cap the ministers and the MPs, Parliament, they want to cap it to its current number, I think 276 currently, and they want to cap ministerial appointments or ministerial positions to, I think, 57, not more than 50. I know former President Akufo-Addo did 125. John Mahama is doing something around 59 or 60 thereabout. They want to cap it at 57 and also cap Parliament at its current number, 276. What's your view on this?
I can't fault that. There's always been the concern that too many of the MPs becomes ministers, therefore they are not functional in the parliament. They are almost absent.
The weaken parliament.
So if there's, pardon?
The weaken parliament.
That's right. So only for certain kind of information, deliberations or discussions or policies that you see them there. So yes, that is a good move. I'm not saying that the move to review the Constitution is a problem in itself. But I'm saying let's be circumspect. Let's be honest to ourselves what the problem is and the things that needs fixing. Yes, to break the executive from the judiciary and from the what's the other arm of the government?
The executive,
so
legislature, and the judiciary.
The legislature, so that the president doesn't have that overlord over them. That's okay. It's not a problem at all. But when we begin to tamper with the numbers, the years, and all these things, you never know. You look, somebody said, it is generally said that what you're going to manufacture or produce is not the problem. But until who is
and you guarantee who is going to have it. So when you fashion, for instance, let's look at the nuclear bombs. Nuclear bomb. Yes, it's possible. It's been made. Now, we are concerned in who it's going to be, because it's a very, very dangerous weapon. So when we alter these things, because maybe currently we are all satisfied with the president that we have, and another one, what if we have one that is very vicious, anti-country and people? What are we going to do? So let's not attempt to implement the recommendation. Let's have a counter to the recommendation and drill it down to what needs changing. Much more than holistically go ahead, because we have majority parliament, therefore we think everything is just going to go through. We are setting the country up for problem in the future. So the recommendations need to be going to another auditing group that will say, okay, all these recommendations are aligned, but this is not a problem of country. As a country, we have a problem with our education. As a country, we have a problem with our mentality. Therefore, this is not a problem. What we can change now is break government into pieces. Who appoints what? So the president doesn't have this one blanket authority over everything and then runs and appoint people. Sometimes he's not even the one appointing. His appointees now appoint people on his behalf. People that are not refined. Go to our districts and see what's going on. Most of the district offices are broken. But they are those district executives, they are appointed in the name of the president. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So let's not implement the recommendation holistically, Mr. President. Let's review it again. Let another group sit on it and break it down to what can be implemented or what should be going for Parliament to sit over it and possibly come out with a final implementation.
Because there would be a white paper in that regard. But let me tie you with this recommendation with our next subject for discussion. That happens to be the Kenoforata story. But this recommendation is talking about the creation of an independent anti-corruption body. And because I want to talk about corruption and corruption-related cases, it says, in the fight against corruption, the committee has proposed the establishment of an independent anti-corruption commission with exclusive prosecutorial authority, separate from existing state institutions. So they suggest they would take separate the powers of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice for him to concentrate on justice delivery and take the attorney side of him, add it to the OSP, put probably Siraj or the CID, and put all of them together, make it an independent, autonomous body to spearhead our anti-corruption fight. What do you say to that? And tie this in for me with the legal lead for Kenoforata making pronouncements in the United Kingdom with the BBC this week, I think it's today, indicating that the OSP persecution of Oforiatta is politically motivated.
I've not seen, I don't know who are those lawyers anyway, but let me ask, who are these lawyers? Are they Ghanaians or are they foreigners?
They're foreigners.
So I don't buy their argument. If what do you call his name? Ken Oforiatta was a British person, that there's record that an allegation, even if it's allegation, that's what they're going to be saying. That the move to remove the Minister of Finance. Okay, let's go to UK. A couple of years ago, not too long ago, when the Minister of Finance or for Finance, called the Exchequer, acted in a way that affected the pound. He that was Kwatin is his name. Kwatin is his name. He and the Prime Minister were removed.
You're right.
They were removed without any argument because they believe that whatever they call it, there was a word they used to describe that the budget that they approved or tried to implement at the time. Is it mini budget they call it or something like that? So for those what do you call them? For those lawyers to sit down there and say that Ghana wanting to do the right thing with their people, when there's information, there's figures, there's numbers to suggest that a Ghanaian former minister for finance has functioned in a way that is suspicious. Let me put it that way. Allegedly suspicious, malfeasance, mismanagement, and they sit down there that is a partisan or a
politically motivated. Right.
That's nonsense. It's nonsense. Yes, it's nonsense. Ghana should be responding to them that they should stop that nonsense immediately. Is that acceptable?
Don't you think this is too harsh for the lawyer?
No, it is nonsense. It's nonsense. Where is their evidence to suggest that Ghana wanting to call this man to book is politically motivated? This man becoming a finance minister, Ghana's debt moved from 100 regions to over 700 regions, yet the country is not developed. And they sit down there and tell me that they move to ask him questions. They didn't say they are going to imprison him. Come and answer questions. No, because they disrespect us. No, I said they disrespect us. Those lawyers disrespect us. They don't value our government machinery. This is why they'll sit in UK and say to us that the move to ask Ken Oforiatta to come and answer questions, just questions. Would they do that in UK? No, they won't.
But if you are the special prosecutor, you know Ken Oforiatta is unwell.
It is nonsense. They don't believe that our special, the special prosecutor is capable of challenging them. This is the time for our special prosecutor to stand up and tell him, stop that nonsense and send the guy back for us to talk to. No, this is not a time for respect.
Ken Oforiatta has written to you to indicate to you that he's unwell and he's receiving treatment abroad. Why do you flag him?
We want him. Okay, he should send his legal team to come and answer questions then. If they said it is political witch hunt, they should come and sit down and answer questions and look at the evidence that are stacked against their man. But to sit down there and label attempt by government for what do we call it? For accountability, probity, for them to label our attempt to refine our country, for them to sit down there and label our attempt to make our country to be corruption-free as political witch hunt, I said it's nonsense. Gross nonsense.
And you have no apologies. You have no apologies for the lawyer who made those claims. You have no apologies for the lawyer who made those claims, right?
To insult Ghana that an attempt to ask a previous finance minister to come and answer questions for what is alleged to have gone wrong is political motivation is nonsense, because that will not happen in UK. That will not happen in the United States.
I want to read a quote to you. I want to read a quote to you.
No, Kofi, hold on. That lawyer will not do that. If the ex-finance minister in UK is alleged to have done corrupt and malfeasances and mismanagement, he will say that. They'll look at the books. They'll look at the numbers. They will try to justify if it is right or not. But because it's Ghana, because it's Africa, so he will sit in UK and say that, oh, he's politically motivated.
Okay, maybe when I do this quote for you, when I read this quote for you, it will make you change your mind. He says, and I quote,
I won't change my mind. I know what I am thinking. I know what I know. I won't change my mind, because these guys, they disrespect us a lot. When it's got to do with Africa, they disrespect us. And I'm telling you, I'm changing on my mind.
The quote says he is committed to fully complying with the laws of Ghana, and he's fully committed to answering for anything that he did when he was finance minister. There is absolutely no question about that. The question is he being given the rights that he's guaranteed under Ghana law?
No problem. Kofi, send him to the country. We have medical facilities. We'll be treating him while we are asking him questions. That's how it should be. So what are you telling me right now? I said that lawyer telling us that we want him to Ghana because the OSP is acting on behalf of us. So I can say we. I can say we. We Ghanaians want our former finance minister to come back and answer questions. And you, a lawyer in the UK, you are telling us that the Ghanaians wanting their former minister to come and answer questions is political motivation. You tell me that's not an insult? It's nonsense. Yeah, it's nonsense. It's about time we have our politicians that can stand up to this nonsense and tell them, please, get back with your nonsense and bring the guy, let's talk to him.
The last time our Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayenene, said about this Ken Oforiatta, he narrated and said that Ken Oforiatta has hired very high and top lawyers in the United States of America to defend his extradition. And within this week, that was around last week, and within this week, we've heard from the lawyer who is indicating that this move by the OSP in Ghana is politically
He is in US.
motivated.
You are saying that the lawyer is in UK. His lawyer is in UK. Okay. If the lawyer is licensed to function in Ghana, he should come with the documents and then we will show him what we have. I'm not saying Ken Oforiatta has done anything wrong, but it is alleged things have gone wrong whilst he is in office. He should be the best person to answer it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Right.
And that is part of our constitution. Provision for fair trial. So we should not be attempting to affect that provision Do you understand? When those guys were arrested in Ghana by collaboration of Ghanaians, we did not stand in the way of their justice. The people were released. Why is it difficult? Maybe our OSP is not effective, or he's not making any demands, because by general bilateral agreement, that man should be back to Ghana and be kept in maybe 37 military hospital, one of the new hospitals where there's functions. Actually, why is he running to UK? If all our government officials would have built our medical systems effectively, would they all be going to UK? Would they be going to Dubai to go and take care of themselves? Bring the guy back, let's talk to him. What are you talking? It's nonsense.
I think we have to be ending it now, and I thank you so much, because you indicated you have just 30 minutes for us. I thank you so much. But
before I go, bring the guy back. Stop telling us you stole your job. It's not the lawyer's job to say that Ghana's attempt to call a former minister to book and possibly charge him or not charge him is political move. The OSP is the representation of the people. Therefore, it is we, the people, who are asking for that guy to come back. He's a Ghanaian too. And therefore, he has no right to sit somewhere else and tell us that the move by the Ghanaians to ask for their former minister to come and answer questions is a political move. No, it's not. It's a move by justice, constitution, so that the next guy coming will not misbehave. We should be angry and furious. Not play with it. It's nonsense.
You're right. You're right. Before you go, I know you are high now, but do you have some Christmas wishes you would want to share with some Ghanaians over here?
Listen. It's about time we become resolved and unmovable Ghanaians. It doesn't matter where somebody's coming from. Kwame Nkrumah was not weak. Do you understand? Call a spade a spade. That's my Christmas message for us all. Once you eat your chicken, goat, and everything, be strong and tough. That's what it should be.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. I salute you.
Your time.
And that's M Liquid over there in the United Kingdom, sharing his thoughts with us here on Pulse of the Week, the midweek edition with your man, Kofi Asante Mensah. And I'll go for a quick breather. When I return, there's more. Please stay.
You know, if you look at the last election, some were in complete shock
of the results.
Yes. While we were telling them 6 months before that yes.
So you are a traitor or what? I don't know.
The last person who will be a traitor in this country will be me. I'm very patriotic.
It is alleged that NDC is sponsoring you to do their dirty work. Let me put it that way. That's my word, dirty work, to discredit the advances of the MPP. You've been drawn into partisan politics. How do you come out of this one?
One, I have not been contracted, required to do anything for NDC against any entity in this country. Absolutely not. I don't belong to the NDC. I don't belong to the MPP. I don't have political party affiliation with any other party. No. Now look, where we are in Hacho now. I remember when I was going to write the O-levels, I didn't have money to pay for the fees. So I had to carry labor, do by day labor. Here. We're one of those who started building houses in this area as a laborer. You have to even go and carry the cement from afar because there were no buildings to store them in. This would be the shock. We were branded as mad people. Well, the numbers we were banding around was in excess of a 2.something million gap. We have to realize that the country, Ghana, has changed profoundly, even from 2016 levels.
I think it wasn't Ghana government funded.
No, it wasn't Ghana government funded. No, on your own you struggle, and then you go to Denmark. I remember when I arrived in Frankfurt, on my way to Denmark, I had only $500 in my pocket, and that was to pay for your accommodation, pay for your feeding, pay for everything.
Always a pleasure to have you back. Thank you very much. Please log on to this very social media handles and enjoy more of our videos over there. There you can have it on the screen. There you have it. It is right there. YouTube, NSG News, at NSG News -GH, and on X it is NSG GH, and we have Facebook NSG News. Also on Instagram we have at NSG News 1. And you would have a lot of stories to watch and some short videos that you can really enjoy. Political stories, social, cultural, and the hot seat. Please, there's a lot from AIM over there. He granted us an interview over there. He's all the way in the United Kingdom sharing his thoughts with us on the major stories of our country, especially the one that has to do with Ken Ofori-Atta and his extradition and his legal practitioner or the legal lead for Ken Ofori-Atta, making claims that the extradition process by the OSP and the Attorney General is politically motivated. He also shared views on the Constitutional Review Committee's reports and recommendations as presented to the President of the Republic of Ghana. And we are going on right now and do some DVLA stories for you, because the DVLA, they have actually suspended the planned rollout of the new number plates. I think there are some court suits, etc. But I have this insert I want to show you, but just after this read. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, has announced suspension of the anticipated rollout of new license plates originally scheduled for January 2nd, 2025. The delay is due to the failure to secure the necessary amendment to the Road Traffic Regulation 2012 LI 2180, which specifies the content and format of vehicle plates. I know there's another association which has dragged the DVLA also to court. This is the CEO for the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority in a press conference.
Out through the amendments in the Road Traffic Act. However, the specific provisions requiring amendments in the LI 2180 have not been successful before Parliament went on recess on Friday, 19th December 2025. As a result, due to the fact that the LI 2180 amendments have not gone through, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, announces to the general public the suspension of the impending rollout of new license plates slated for 2nd January 2026. So one may ask, what happens? The DVLA announces extended use of the current Drive from Port plate, Drive from Port sticker, that is DP, the DP sticker, as well as the DV plate, defective vehicle plate. You know, we changed from DP plates to DP stickers. So now DP is stickers, but DV still remains plates. This means that anyone who has the DP sticker on their vehicle as well as the DV plates on their vehicle could continue to use them up to a time limit to be announced by the authority in due course.
We'll be here waiting for that very due course. Let's do some education-related stories, because government is indicating that it has raised some funds to be able to end double track. The Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has announced that the government has secured a $200 million facility from the World Bank to permanently abolish, I must say, the double track system in senior high school. According to the minister, the double track system has contributed significantly to declining academic outcomes at the secondary school level, particularly in the West African senior school certificate examination, WASI, due to the reduced contact hours between teachers and students.
Than they should. We remain very committed, and government has secured $200 million from the World Bank to work to end double track. I should commend the St. Peter's School in Kwao as one of the first schools that have been able to end double track. So I'm going to reward them with infrastructure for going ahead of government with their own intervention to end double track system. We intend, as I have announced publicly, to convert 30 Category C schools to B and 10 Category B schools to A, and expand infrastructure in all the Category A schools. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I end, there is no Category A school in the Northeast region. Passing pay comes up, but not at the level of what is a reputable Category A school. Yapeura in the Savannah region, to remind you so that as stakeholders, as chiefs, you have a role to play with government. There's no Category A school in the Savannah region. In the Oti region, there's no Category A school. We need to work at it.
Let's still stay with education. The government has dismissed claims that it is responsible for the significant decline recorded in the 2025 West African Senior High School Certificate Examination, WASSCE. Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, said the poor results cannot be attributed to government following public criticisms over the sharp drop in overall performance. Speaking during the inauguration of the governing councils of 4 colleges of education, Mr. Idrisu described the result as a wake-up call and called for a comprehensive assessment of secondary education to improve quality.
That when the WASSCE exams was presented, you know, in Ghana, when students do well, you praise the students. When they don't do well, blame the minister or blame the government. I refuse to accept that the government of President Mahama and the Ministry of Education and the assessment body, we would not accept responsibility for those poor performance, but rather it should be a wake-up call on all of us to do an assessment of where we are with the state of our secondary education in Ghana. Quality assurance, quality improvement. Many of the institutions from 2008 till yesterday are still in the same infrastructure since Free Senior High School was launched. Not a dormitory nor a classroom was added to the infrastructure. And government has secured $200 million from the World Bank to work to end double track. I should commend the St. Peter's School in Kwao as one of the first schools that have been able to end double track. So I'm going to reward them with infrastructure for going ahead of government with their own intervention to end double track system. We intend, as I have announced publicly, to convert 30 Category C schools to B and 10 Category B schools to A, and expand infrastructure in all the Category A schools. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I end.
All right, so let's still remain more with education, because the Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, has also indicated in the same program that with Bawumia, it is possible, but with Mahama, it is real.
In the debate on the Get Fund Amendment Act, a colleague member of Parliament for Wale Wale and my very good friend Kabiru, when we got to a provision, and the Get Fund Amendment Act, Yapeura, is to do 3 things. 1, to give assured sustainable financing to Free Senior High School. 2, to give assured security and financing to free tertiary education for persons with disability. And 3, to provide free education for learners with special needs. So when we got to free tertiary education for persons with disability, Dr. Kabiru stood up strongly and said, "Oh, Honorable Minister for Education and the NDC, what you are doing was in the thinking of Dr. Bawumia and was in the manifesto of the MPP. So I remotely told him that for Dr. Bawumia it is possible, for John Mahama it's real. So we are real and we have given true meaning to it.
The Minister of Education, his speech was read on his behalf, and he says government is looking at resetting education so that we have employable skills for our students. And this is the beautiful lady who read on behalf of the Education Minister's speech.
Education available, accessible, affordable, and meaningful to our young people requires partnership between central government and institutions of higher learning. As government commits more resources towards resetting our education system, it is expected that our institutions of higher learning will collaborate with industry in leading the conversation about the transformation curriculum needed to leapfrog us into stronger economy and better standards of life. This is particularly necessary because some of the job creation interventions program being rolled out by this government have become critical due to employability gaps in the curriculum. I therefore challenge KTU and by extension our technical universities to place employable skills, enhance all practical entrepreneurship at the core of their education delivery.
All right, so that's the speech as read on behalf of the Education Minister. Let's do some vice presidential stories, because Vice President Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman has been visiting the coastal areas of our country and has been pledging that their lives would be improved, because the sea is gold. If you do it well, it will bring you more revenue and your life will be better off.
Hear you on officers and accommodation for staff. It's fine. I'll be very happy to support that. But in the process, I'll also be very happy to raise the quality of life for the people who live there all the time. When I saw the insurance and so on, these are real issues, and I'm very happy that you are thinking about them. The fisherman is a very interesting person. He trains himself. How many schools do we have that teach fishing? Can anybody raise their hands? So they are giving themselves the education. They know how to read the skies. They are astronomers. These are knowledgeable people. When you talk about the 24-hour economy, sometimes they're on the sea for 3 days. They have gone beyond the 24-hour. So we have all these examples we can learn from. They know how to take care of themselves. They're not asking for the moon, but they're asking for opportunity to contribute to the economy. This cannot be wrong. So it is.
Right, so that's the Vice President over the Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman. And let's move to some fire stories, because this week they've been quite prominent relating to fire issues. All the way in Ashanti region, Achuma, Menshia in the Ashanti region, 3 females, including a 3-month-old baby, were all burnt, and they passed on by way of fire outbreak.
No fire extinguisher.
I'll release a condolence message to the affected family. In fact, it's a very big tragedy. Since I was born, I've never witnessed such incident before. I was called this dawn that there is a fire outbreak at Achuma, Manchia. So this morning, I and my team were present here. Unfortunately, we found 6 family members dead in one room out of the fire outbreak. So what I can say is that everybody should be very mindful about the Harmattan season we are getting in, so that such incident won't happen again. So my condolences to the bereaved family.
Okay, so as municipal, do you or your municipal assembly, do you have any support or relief for the affected family or the rest of it?
Sure, we have, but for now I can't declare whatever we have for the family unless I meet the management and we sit down and plan what to do for them.
Near Duma Lights, and almost so, and almost so, and I'm just a mifira baba who appear. I think it came Monsolio, and if you hire day, yes. 10 years, and I say, Yenina will be a PA for the life. Until a PA, no, Yenina will be Sawaya way, no be Sawaya way, Afeni, who, yes, a star or not.
When you are sleeping and there is fire outbreak, the smoke, the toxic weakens you. That when it weakens you, you cannot just wake up. So more or less, you are dead before the fire will come, the smoke alone. So please, let individual buy these smoke detectors and install them. It will help. We should also buy this firefighting equipment, the fire extinguisher. Not only do we buy them, but we should also know how to use them in our dealings. In all our dealings, we presuppose that there was an appliance on which was not unplugged. And you know, when power is being restored, it comes with some sort of force. Usually when it hits the appliances, it will definitely ignite. Therefore, we advise at this very moment, in general, not this season alone, anytime there is fire light out, please unplug whatever.
Let's lay fire and do some security-related or gun-related stories, because security agencies have retrieved over 100 unlicensed firearms in Wa as part of intensified efforts to control small arms and enhance public safety. Watch for details for how this operation was done all the way in Wa.
The proliferation of illicit weapons poses a direct threat to national security. As part of efforts to address this challenge, the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, in collaboration with the Ministry of the Interior, has rolled out a nationwide gun amnesty, which runs until January 15, 2026. Speaking to the media after paying a courtesy call on the National Chief Imam, the Executive Secretary of the Commission, Dr. Adam Buna, disclosed that the amnesty is already yielding positive results.
We came back from the Upper West region on the amnesty train tour to the Upper West. When we are in Upper West, so far, just in the one municipality alone, we have had more than 100 weapons surrounded. Just in the Wa area alone, not the entire Upper West, but in the Wa area, it tells you people are surrendering. Some are calling us. We picked some AK-47s in the Volta region because the people had them and they were afraid. Once you call us, you call the police. Every police district in this country is part of the amnesty. Go there, surrender the weapon, you will not be arrested. And the essence of coming to the Chief Imam is to ask for his blessings.
The National Chief Imam, Sheikh Usman Nuhu Sharubutu, called on Muslim youth to take advantage of the amnesty window to surrender all unlicensed arms. His spokesperson, Sheikh Arimiyao Shaibu, spoke to the media.
Chief Imam has been so glad, he's been very, very thankful. He's prayed for the commission for a successful exercise in this, what has been labeled Silence the Gun and Elevate Ghana. So Chief Imam has added his voice in calling on all and sundry, all the citizens of this country who are in possession of any kind of arms without license to surrender them in our own interest, in the interest of the security of our country. He has indicated that we can see the insecurity which is ongoing in some neighboring countries. And we, Ghana, have been kept here together as followers of different religions. We live in harmony and peace. And that harmony and peace need to be enhanced.
And that is our show for today, Wednesday, 24th day of December 2025. My name is yours truly, Kofi Asante Mensah. This has been Pulse of the Week, streaming live on NSG News GH on YouTube, also on our many social media platforms, and I hope you are following us and sharing some few comments with us. Before we go, we brought you stories relating to Christmas, the safety of jubilants or celebrants within this festive season. We also brought you stories relating to Ken Oforiatta and his extradition processes and his legal or his lawyer speaking with the BBC. The Constitutional Review Committee presented their recommendation report to the President of the Republic. We brought those stories to you. Baumia is leading with some 56%. As per the latest survey by the Global InfoAnalytics. And we also brought you some CAF, Confederation of African Football Africa Cup of Nations 2025, hosted in Morocco. As we speak, the Ivory Coast Mozambique match ended in 1-0 in favor of Ivory Coast. We also brought you updates that Algeria beat shipped Sudan 3-0. Burkina Faso also beat Equatorial Guinea 2-1. Currently happening is Cameroon versus Gabon, and Cameroon is up with 1 goal. This is our package for today, Wednesday. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. A big thank you to Francis Entry Kofi Berry, and a big one, a very huge one, to our boss, and his name is Justice Kluche. Charlie, thank you for making boss pay us quite early. All right, thank you so much. It's been our show. We'll be here to do this all over again on Friday. Please stay with us, and thank you so much. It's Kofi Asante Mensah saying goodbye to you. Tatai, we'll leave you in the safe hands of Kecher Kwame Apia. Enjoy the song.
Sisi fie kakra unsu wanko akiti ya beto ansu wa mena besi wajo bi kravo so nansu wunya juma